Making sure all the streams are started. Final test. Okay, looks good. All right. Stream health is in the yellow. Saying the the bit rate. Well, yeah, the bit rate is doing a little bit of dumping, but it's mostly good. Okay, it's much better now. Just kind of double checking as we go. Okay. All right. We'll go. Go ahead and get into it. Okay, so we're the chapter 4, I guess it is, and it's looking pretty much like it's a big astronomy puzzle, so that's gonna be interesting. Nothing on the table is activating. I wonder if this means the puzzle is entirely in the astronomy in the room behind this, like the background behind this. I mean, technically, there's still some stuff down here in the with the box that I can look at. I don't know if I do anything with any of this though anymore. I don't have any items in my inventory, so it's not like I would be inserting anything there, which we've already used, by the way. So I don't know. Let me do this. Okay, so I slide the disc certain ways, I guess. Or maybe not. I don't know. Let's see. What can I slide? Well, there's this. Small socket. Okay. Nothing around that. Okay. Okay, maybe there's some more stuff around the edges. Okay. So I got a winding handle. August 15th. This is the final note, I guess. August 15th. Something is wrong. I followed the incantation to the very letter. Astaroth did not appear. There are no answers to be had, more questions. The visions have increased. They gather to me, and I cannot stay in one place for long. I try to monitor them, but the lens hurts my eyes. I have mixed a solution for the pain. For those that follow and find this journal, I lack the power to describe this. There is no concept within the human sphere with which to explain it. The house is so much larger now. There are rooms everywhere. So we monkeyed with stuff we ought not to have, I guess? That's what it sounds like to me. Anything there? Doesn't do anything when I try to press it. So I guess this opens up on its own later, I guess. Can't zoom in there. Or there. Large cylinder indentation. Hey, Monmouth, welcome. So I guess we're going to end up putting something there. So all currently that I have active is this, and then I've rotated this to get this. So I suppose this must go here then, right? Ruh-roh. I didn't expect that to happen. Non est ad astra mollis aeteris vi. Probably this is Terrace the 6th, actually. A sword? Looking for a sword constellation, huh? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Okay. So sword here. Oh, so I need to manipulate once again. Those are so scattered, and my view is so... Oh, here we go. If I zoom out a little bit. Maybe not. Doesn't really seem to be moving towards some kind of a winding up. I wonder if this means I need a sword thing, mechanism, somehow to adjust this. I don't know if that's true, though. But okay, let's look at other things. This had, yeah, other angles too. Hmm. Interesting. This might be because it looks like it's pulling in I mean, not visible obviously outside of this with a lens, but it almost looks like it might be pulling information from behind here. So it might be a thing where I need to make some adjustments. Either the box top rotates or the ceiling or walls of the room rotate. Might realign this. So this might be a thing for later. I don't know. So yeah. So this will spin. If this is going to move again, this will spin at a certain point so that I can connect it and have it move this again, this dial again. But for now, it looks like no. Yeah, colors. Yep. Yeah, it's really quite pretty, obviously. Yeah. Because I can't seem. I mean, I just might be totally missing it somehow, but I can't seem to get this to line up in such a way. Like these are spread too far from each other, it looks like to me, to be able to get them even going at different, like up and down angles and stuff. It doesn't seem like they will align together currently. So yeah, I don't. Um, but I also don't know. You can't even zoom in on these bottom things here under the top of the table, so it feels like we're not going to use any of those anymore. So it is stuff on the table. Yeah, it's not going to move any farther. So I think it was primarily to rotate these. We've already done this. And moving, like trying to drag or just double click or single click. I mean, right click obviously zooms out. Anyway, on this doesn't seem to do anything. So I think this is an up and coming thing, not something we're ready for yet. We're just there. This says that there's a spot for a disc, but otherwise doesn't do anything. Yeah. Okay, it's got to be. I think it's got to be something with this, but I don't. So I don't seem to be able to. So I said my opinion yesterday. So what did you think of the end of True Fear Part 3? I only have a limited amount of rotation available to me, so it makes some of these things harder to do, of course. Maybe I can go down from here or something. No. Yeah, I think there actually is going to have to be some kind of realignment, something happens, but I don't know what. It cannot use this again. These do not even zoom in, let alone react when I try to use them. This, like I said, it just says there's a dial. Or like an indentation, I guess. So maybe a spot for a dial, but not actually the dial. And even that's kind of iffy because it doesn't say actually a dial. It just says an indentation. I think as I, at whatever point, rotate this, then this will rotate, but doesn't let me actually drag anything around. It just tells me what it is. So it's not active yet. This has been used and is now locked. This has been used and is now locked. I can't tell. When I look like this, this has like forward and back. I don't know if that's supposed to be this whole piece here moving forward and back, or it's something in the middle moving back forward and back. I don't know. See, I can only zoom in on this, not on like this. So there's not really going to be a, at least not a clear item for me to focus on that. These aren't manipulable. I don't know if there's any. There's this, and there's this. I don't know if anything else that even reacts. I was looking at the constellations earlier, but they don't seem to change with if I'm using the lens or not. I mean, kinda. I guess they sort of stretch-ish a little bit, but not really. Okay, what is... So this constellation is here, which is kind of behind this. So if I'm trying to do that, am I trying to do something like that? I guess it's sort of an L, but with a curve, and this kind of curls out, and then like a little overhang, almost like a C or something. Yeah, see, I don't see something that matches up with that shape really in here. Hmm. And then going this other way, could do the Y maybe, but I don't think so. Yeah, no. Turns too much. Like if I were gonna try the Y, I'd already be way over here by the time I would try that. So it doesn't line up in a way that I thought it might. This kind of could be a sword as far as the constellation goes, but since this one here though, or is it here, looks considerably different. Like it actually looks like a real sword, not a like a proper sword, not a just a a cross or something. And this was next to the Y. So here, I guess. So when I look at, where did that go? Here? Star, 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 star. So 7 in a decently close proximity. We have this, that's on the, so it'd be this, something over here. Although technically this is the wrong direction, right? Not that I do still think that's it, but yeah, this one is kind of, from our perspective, it's sort of slanting upward or something, but this one here is slanting downward. So I don't know if that means that's the wrong one, or if we just need to think in different terms rather than in what we're familiar with. Hmm. But I don't see anything else that looks like that, unless I missed it. I don't see anything else that looks like this Y, which is the thing that's right next to the sword, right here. So just after the end, the single line from the end of the Y, that would be where the sword comes in. So something like around here. But like it could be something like this as part of the end of the sword or whatever, maybe. But I don't know. Okay, the letter had, I think it was some Latin text, right? Let's see. No. Where was it that I saw the Latin text? Oh, it was in the around the outside of that. That's right. Here. Nothing is in or to the stars. Is that dead? Molis? No. Death is Mortis with a T. RT instead of LL. I'm not up on my. Let me look at a Latin translation. Into English. Okay. So it's non est ad astra molis e terris. There's no soft land to the stars. Yeah, ad astra is like to the stars. There's not to the stars or in the stars. That makes sense. So molis is soft, I guess, which makes sense. Mollify is to like kind of soften or comfort some kind of pain in English comes from same idea. So anyway. There's no soft land in the stars, so it's sword for sure. So where do I... What are the... Let me look at... Take a screenshot. And see if I can find the same principles, or not principles, but like points of stars, I guess is what I want to say, in this area that would make up the sword. There's a 2-star. It's not binary, really, not with these distances and being astronomy, but I'll say it just to say it. But so there's sort of like if the sword were somewhere around here, there's sort of like this kind of position of 2 stars, but this would be too close. It should be way over here, something more like that. And we're back to the Y again. Versa really is unhelpful here because that just means the universe. Maybe do these not connect to that? They form letters instead? I don't think so. Doesn't seem. There's no like trick that I'm seeing, like clicking the stuff around it. Put this in bro's mouth? No. Um. See, it is when you're zoomed in on this. There are, or yeah, there are things that are kind of indicate you're in a chamber, but I can't interact with the other stuff in the chamber, so I don't know. This side has also what look like vines. Hmm. Hmm. Well, oh, before I forget, so I talked with my father today, and we're not going to worry about doing a test stream. We just decided we're just going to go with Starlink. Seems like the faster, more consistent internet provider. So we're just going to go with that and not worry about testing next week. So that has more consistent upload speed, which is important for streaming because I'm sending data out into the world to you guys to watch, right? For you guys to watch. So it's important that that be at least decent enough so there's not massive lag between chat and there's, I think it says like typically the average lag when using Starlink is like 30 to 40 milliseconds. So nobody's going to really notice that. So it's basically going to be almost like there's no lag. What it should be. I mean, there won't, there might be periods where Starlink is having some trouble or something. That's always possible, obviously, with anything online. But generally speaking, it should not be an issue ever. Yeah, I don't know how I'm supposed to manipulate this to get. I thought about trying to connect to the same symbol we did before, but the stuff's too far apart. It doesn't seem to matter what angle I take, even if I back out and redo angles. Doesn't seem like I ever get an angle that's gonna complete the symbol we've used before. So if that's what we're supposed to do, I can't see how, at least right now. But then also, I had considered instead of that, maybe what we're trying to do is do something that somehow connects to the sword or dagger, whatever this is, that's down here, but nothing even comes close to approaching that. I've tried clicking around on all the walls and things in the back, including the torches or their sconces, and it's not. None of that is really responding how I would like it to. Like, there's not any reaction at all currently, so I don't actually know what the idea on that is. If I look this way, this way. So this, from that angle, this kind of makes a sword. I don't think that's what that is, but that sort of does. If I go here now. Anyway, if I go around like this, that sort of makes a sword in the distance, sort of, but I don't think that's right. That's not what we're wanting. So I can't interact with the arrows, which is fine, because I think those generally are more like guides anyway. But I'm not sure. Boy, I might be stuck on my first, like, fully stuck. But I'm not giving up. Let's see. Sorry? Small slit in the exact center of the table. See, this might be where the dagger ends up going. But I need the dagger in the first place if I'm going to do that. Which seems to be here, except that I can't get to it, and I can't seem to manipulate stuff. Wait. Did I just move this somehow? Oh, I can rotate that. I'm silly. Of course I can rotate that. Why couldn't I? Okay. So now I can rotate it into an order that will potentially give me more like that. There we go. Took me long enough. Jeez. I was like, what the frick? I was like, why can't I rotate this? Because I forgot you could spin those. I forgot that was a thing you could spin. All right. So now, and then I presume the directions that I see on these are, once I apply the dagger, the directions I'm, whoops. Oh, I guess I could examine it and make sure there's nothing on it that needs to. Yeah, no. Looks like it stays intact. Okay, let me do that. Ruh-roh. Ooh. Oh. So I arrange those in a particular, based on these, I guess, maybe? Let's see. Probably not from this angle, because this is in the way. So it's probably some other angle we want. How do I... Do I use that board to rotate things? Oh. Oh, I can rotate this now. Maybe. No? Since an indentation still doesn't actually, yeah, so that's not it. Let's see. Maybe I do need to just use this. Oh, here we go. So I want okay, just like stairs going down from the top left to the bottom right. Wait, where was that showed up? Hang on. Where was that showed up? Here. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, we're rotating again for the next thing that I won't be able to find for 10 minutes. Or 20 minutes, I think actually last time was how long it took. An eye. Okay. Oh, snap. Really? I think this is going to have to be like something like this. Do I manipulate this in order to, let's see. So basically, like a lying down bracket +2, or more like a Y almost in total. Okay, so in that case, okay, so I'm just lining this up now. Large golden amulet, which will go in the circular indentation spot. Okay. That is... Oh, okay. Hang on. So we had... It's currently... I'm not actually sure what way I want to rotate it. Oh, you know what I can try though? Hang on. Let me see if this shows anything currently. Okay, it shows like that. So if I rotate this, let's say just that, even like an eighth of a turn or 16th of a turn. Okay, that rotated this, but not showing anything significant currently. If I rotate this to here, what do we get? I guess we get 2, 1. So those are pointing to each other, and that gives me that. If I get the next rotation over, whoops, this down here is what I want. Top. Not exactly sure what I'm trying to work out here with these, but let me. This is the original orientation was something along those lines, right? Yeah. So this is open. Is that open? In reality, no. But it is in here. So is there a ball basically that's only in here that I'm trying to move around to get to drop into the hole? Is that what we're going for? I don't know what ball that would be though. I just need to rotate more and see if a ball shows up. If that's even a thing. About halfway between these? What do I get when I get this? Yeah, so just that's rotated like I would expect. If I that off. The other side doesn't have something similar, so it is something with this. I don't know. What am I trying to line up with that? Is there a single thing on the bottom somewhere? Wait. I see. These three more or less match these three, and this one that's away from these is kind of this one, I think. No. Not there. I don't know that that's important at all. We'll try with this point instead of one of the arrows. The arrows are significant enough. They stand out enough. I'm pretty sure it's one of those is what we actually want, but we're not grabbing either of these, right? These are just the things that emit the light, so I can't imagine we're grabbing those. Yeah. We already did that. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure it's just this. Just some orientation that I'm not sure of yet. That's just the circle. That's not like an empty extra thing. Huh. Why is that? See, these stopped. Oh, wait, they're 3 wide. Oh, I see what's going on. The pattern is here on the different levels. I was for some reason I was thinking these were 4 wide, and so these weren't matching up to it. I was wrong. Okay, so we want 1, 2, 1. Then I need to rotate again to see what the other ones are. So 1, 2, 1. And I believe it's 1 in the middle on the top as well. So first and third are middle. Bottom is the outside 2. It's 4 tall, not 4 wide. That was my mistake. Obviously my mistake. I'm the one playing, but yeah. Oh, there might not be any in the second row. No, there are. Outside 2 as well. Okay, so this should be 2, 1, 2, 1. There we go. Took me quite a bit to catch on to that, but I did eventually. But it took me quite a bit, to be fair. Far longer than it ought to have taken me, I think, to be honest. Energy source, harnessing the null element. Oh. That specific, huh? We know it harnesses the null element? I see. Oh. So we are rotating in such a way. Interesting. Can I... Oh. I was going to ask if I can manipulate these a certain way, but I don't know if I can. Yeah, looks like I can. So now we have the symbol he made of the null element. Is this why there are 3 more room or 4 more room games potentially? Because we just screwed ourselves over by opening this door that we ought not to have opened? I feel like that might have been what just happened. Chapter complete. Please, okay. Yep, High Priest completed chapter 4. Continue the game. Okay. Uh-oh. Where on earth am I? A queer sense of movement. Not quite turning, not quite falling. I felt myself cross the threshold, and the visions abated. Perhaps they only served to drive me to this place? The route back closes behind me, but a way forward opens ahead. Something is drawing me in. In case you're with me, I will try to guide you along the path. I pray you never came. I pray you are just another of my dreams. Yeah, we're along the path, bro. You're gonna have to guide us. This is a problem. Okay, so if I look at this from a musical sense, like on a keyboard, right? This would be middle. Well, not necessarily middle, but this would be C, the key C here. So this is a B and then an F. No sharp or flat. They're both natural. So a B and an F are my first 2 things on that. I don't know how that's going to apply to what we're doing, but there is that. A B and an F. Okay. Notepad with a sketch of the null element. Okay, so nothing with that yet. It's off color, but it doesn't. It's not something we can manipulate. Make me think it opens when we do X, Y, or Z. So, what can we adjust right now? Nothing here looks like. Rotate this? No. Okay. I'm gonna look at stuff first without the lens, and then as it seems the lens applies, then I will use other stuff, of course. This might tell me, nope, doesn't seem to tell me anything. Looks like a gear's missing. I see. So we need gears for this and this, probably both of those. Okay. Okay, so objects go in here since it's 1, 2, and 3 dots, like little rivets or whatever. I assume things with a number of points or something like that that match those is what we'll be doing. This is missing, of course. Yep. Okay. Can't do anything there. Then we're back to that. Okay, what about on top? Rotate that to match a handprint. There we go. Oh, do I? Hang on. Ah, here we go on the side. There's one of the gears. Okay. This takes like a key or something similar in the slot, right? Yeah. So, okay. We have that. Well, I can do this because I just got that gear. Let's do that for now. Where on earth? Here we go. No. Here we go. Okay. So obviously this can go here. If I do that. I don't know what I'm doing with this exactly. See, I have up here. Oh, am I rotating these to blue? Is that what I'm doing? Oh. In that case, let's do this. Move these back for a second, and then I will move them. Now move this one more time. Now move these. That one inverts, which is fine, because then we'll go like this. Then as we pass it again, we invert it one more time and invert that one. There we go. Oh, it opened one but not the other. That's fine. I now need to do it again for the other side. Let's do this instead this time. Just get these out of the way. Now this, and that. Okay, I need to invert that back. Let's see. That. This. So as we move over this. Now, because that's going to invert, I need this inverted again. So I want there, and then I can go out. Now that's going to invert that again, though. How do I? Oh, I know. Do that. Invert these. invert this, and now as I go past this and this, now I have a clear path to there. There we go. Metal orb, something strange about it. Let's have a look, shall we? Is there a particular like that? I don't know if that's right though. It doesn't seem to respond when I do that, so maybe I want something else. But I don't know what other orientation I want. Let's see. I go along this, they're all just the same, right? Yeah. I go back this way. Oh, here we go. Maybe. I think that might be it. There we go. Oh, I see. I'm just pulling it open. And a gear. Alright. And I think that's it. That's all I wanted from that. Is there anything else to... Doesn't look like it. Okay. So over to this. Strangely shaped key. Old faded tarot cards. Doesn't say anything about picking them up though. So either I do that later or they're just probably not just for show. There probably is something we do with them later, but not right now. Okay, so it's okay. There we go. Okay, and that had a B and an F. I don't know if there's more music that I want, but there was a B and an F. Were the ones we had before. Those may not matter. I don't know, but that's I'm remembering just in case. What? What was that noise? It's like a clink, but it wasn't anything on my screen, so I'm not sure what that means. Something else open, like another key. Oh, over here. Can I manipulate these at all? Oh, it looks like... Yeah, that. What is that? It just clinked. Hmm. Hmm. Hey, Sylvia, welcome. Thanks for hopping on. Moves it up there. What does that do? I don't know what adjusting that is meant to do. Did that. So if I go back over here, can I twist the key again or only that slider? I see. Yeah, interesting. Okay, if I put that back. And then if I rotate this while that's there. It's not stopping in that middle part, so there is... I think I do need that, for sure. A variety of things there. So the box has different puzzles built into it. They all are basically, without going too much into it, it seems like, at least to me, it seems like the basic story is that there's a guy that you know, like some associate of yours from the past or something, who started looking at alchemy that other people were doing. Like, you know, alchemy is the medieval science of trying to take something like lead and convert it over to gold. And he had been looking at the stuff they had studied and was basically said to himself, well, you're looking at it wrong, though. You're not doing it in the way that it should be done. So he started doing his own calculations. He discovered something he calls the null element. So in classical like Greece and stuff, they had air, earth, fire, and water. And what he did was he said, well, that's great, but there's also a fifth element that kind of is a union or a meeting of all four elements called the null, and what he named the null element. So in the process of researching the null element, he also started finding information in little bits and pieces of data over time about like some rituals from some like cults in the past and stuff. And so he tried to basically use the null element to forward him on a path of knowledge. He was going to use the null element to try to learn more about the universe and the inner workings. And some of that knowledge was tied to some of these cults that used to worship like Astaroth and other, like, you know, what were considered pagan gods in the past. Anyway, and so in doing that, he eventually entered like a portal that took him to another dimension, effectively, is what it seems like. I don't know for sure, but we ended up following his steps and we went through the same portal. And so his note to us here, once we arrived, was, I hope you did not follow me through, but if you did, I'm going to leave some stuff to try to guide you on the path to get to where I am, or to get to safety, something along those lines. We don't know for sure what the path does, just that he's going to guide us on the path. So that's, now we've used puzzles like this before we went through the portal to get to the point where we would open more and more of mechanisms until we finally got the portal and walked through it. So now we're trying to get on the path, whatever exactly that is that he's called it, to get to, you know, again, whatever exactly it is he's trying to get us to. So what is the orientation difference, if any, when we swap this? So if I move this, and it moves this, slides this up, this didn't really change. there anything in the tarot cards? I don't really know tarot like at all, but I don't think there's anything in here that's going to be helpful to us. So here, I don't know if these symbols are going to be... I don't think they're in this musical stuff here. We have this lens also, so like if you look at the table, you just see like just a flat table with a few objects on it, right? But if we use this, something like this handprint shows up. So sometimes we want to use the lens, it just depends. Well, that's hopefully the idea to a point at least, right? Is to explain stuff in a way that it is more engaging for you. I would like it to be more fun for you as you watch. Okay, so... Okay, the 2 and 5 are finger positionings if you were playing this on piano. So that isn't helpful because we don't have actual keys to be playing anything. So when I read this, we have this for the notes here. This is either saying do not use notes B and F, or you want notes B and F. Given how many notes are showing up, I kind of am feeling like maybe those are ones we exclude. But, okay, if I do this again, that's back where we were. If I do this, where is it? This one? This one. Yeah. So that's that, and this is that. Ah, here we go. It did open up when we did it the certain way. I see. So we do want to rotate it again. This. Have that slide down. And now do this again and get a different part when we rotate it. One of these other times. Not there. So the next rotation. Yeah, here we go. And now we get the key. All right, so we rotated and got those. So the key is going to go here. And this has 3 dots. So as we rotate things a certain way. Interesting. Okay. That was the starting position. Let's leave it on that for now. We don't get anything new with the lens currently for this mode. Then we had the handle. Where did the handle go, I wonder? Oh. Here, maybe. Where you have 2 slots. Yeah, there we go. Oh. We had B and F. Yep, those were the 2 notes we wanted. Looks like, oh, coin slot, okay. Thanks. Appreciate that. Coin slot, huh? That's going to probably tie over to this. But I don't know. Interesting. How does that... Yeah, I need something with the key, I think, to be able to get the coin. Let me see if I can figure this out. Can I slide these? No. I've rotated that as far as it's going to go. I don't see anything currently happening when I move this. Whoops, not what I meant. I meant just to move my angle, not move this. Let's. If I do them one at a time and then I try to play this again, probably not it, but yeah, I didn't do anything. I don't think I rotate this again. Maybe though. Oh yeah, that rotated this. Okay. So one. Hmm. Do it again. That gives me that. But I can't grab it. I can only rotate this. So I don't know. Let's see. Go like that. Okay, so we're back to this. So I don't know if that does anything to that or not, though. I rotate this like that. Okay, so there's a symbol on here. I want the symbol on here, I think. Let's see. It's not this one, right? Yeah, no. Doesn't really match the symbol, any of these. So I guess that's not. Oh, I actually want this. Maybe. No, I'm not finding really a symbol matchup with this. Not get anything with the lens. Yeah, it doesn't help. There's nothing special with the lens right now. Okay, so I think I want the way that's going to give it the first symbol. I'm not sure which way that is. Let's see. This one. Okay, and then there was down here. Was it that? Oh, I see what's going on. this is what's matching up to that. The 1 versus 2 versus 3 on this is what matches up here. So what is my being interactive, and what is my, once I have this, what am I trying to do, I wonder? I'm not just trying to go 1, 2, 3, right? Maybe I am. I don't know. But I wouldn't think I'm just trying to go 1, 2, 3. One. So maybe these two symbols are the ones I want when I want to get the number 1 slot or whatever it is. So if I do, oh, I see. I see what's happening. Okay. Here, I do this. Can I do something with that, or? Yeah, there we go. Oops. Yes. This. Okay, and then so those two initially. Okay. All right, so that's the 1. So now let's manipulate again so we can get the 2. That means I need to get to this. With this up, I then get the 2 here. But so it's in the 2 position, and I need to rotate this back so that no, that's the 1. Yeah, I want it in the 2 position. Hang on. But what I want is this. I want to do that. So I see it point at the other. Wait, no, that's not doing. Do I need to rotate this one more time, maybe? No, as I rotate it, it's out of the 2 position. So how do I... Huh. And that's in the 3 position. I could have sworn... Maybe maybe this is the position that gives me the others. Is this the one? I'm trying to figure out how I... Move this to 3. Then over. How did I do that before? I think the ending won't necessarily be dark. I think it'll be kind of... I mean, if those are the 2 choices, happy or dark, I think dark, but I don't think it's going to be like all that dark. I think the idea is going to be more something along the lines of now you're in a specific situation, like you're kind of stuck in this other realm or something, because this is the room, and then there's the room 2, the room 3. There's one called the room VR that's it seems like it's probably like a 3.5.
because that came. So there's a room 2, 3, and 4, and the room VR came between 3 and 4. So I think it goes the room 2, the room 3, the room VR, and then the room 4. I think is the order you should play them in. I think. How did I manipulate this so that it was? Because I could have sworn. But maybe not. I don't know. Oh, because I have to rotate them. That's, I think, part of the problem. Hang on. So my thing that I had saved says 2 should be like the 4 downward notes, I believe. So I want 4 downward notes. This one. That's the one I think I need. Yeah. And then now if I move this, that'll adjust this. And now I think my 2 will be. But the 4 downward notes is what it says for 2. So how. What? I wonder if I need to. Let's put this back. Do that again. Move this back. These 2 notes. I don't get anything with the lens. But for number 2, because this is the 2 dot thing here, and this so it's 1, 2, and 3 number of dots here on the triangle. So when these show up, this is the 2 and this is the 3. So 2 is this symbol and 3 is this symbol. So how? I go to 2. We have this. And then I want the symbol with 4 notes down. But it didn't do anything, so I don't know what I'm missing. Let me think. Do I do this again? Nah. I didn't do anything. Not what I wanted. It only goes to the 3 positions, so that's not really. I don't care about that being open anymore. I already got the objects from that. What I'm trying to figure out is this, and I'm not. This does change. Oh, there we go. I see. Okay, so then I do this to the 2, and then rotate this to the 2. So the 4, so I do so I don't want this in the 3 position. There we go. 3 numbers. I don't know what numbers yet, of course. Huh. So another divot there, I guess. Yeah, so we're trying to make the numbers here. Where do the numbers go? Here. 309. So I think we're trying to form 309 out of these. I can't rotate that one, so. Whoops. Yeah. Rotate for a different angle. Could be 573, but I think we're trying to do 309, like I said. So I think we want something where this one doesn't rotate. So I think we want something where this, whatever this rotates to, will give us a 3 from there. Maybe not. 573. Maybe this is the number we want to replace those with. 573. Maybe that's what we're doing. Yep, that's what we're doing. Okay. When you get something blank like this, you always want to use this so you can see what actually is hidden there. Get a better feel for. So bottom right corner of a square. Do we have a square somewhere? Like a set of 4. Oh, over here. How do I rotate those? Oh, bottom right from the other side. So it's this one. Actually, potentially, but I'm not sure how I manipulate these. Not moving when I click them or try to drag them. So there is something. Interesting. So nothing on this side. The bottom right on this side, the top left here, and the top left here again if you were to rotate all the way around. How am I going to... Probably nothing more of this. How am I going to manipulate those so they move like I want? Right click always zooms you out, so I don't know why. Sometimes I try right click anyway, but right click really just zooms you out, so it's never really a thing in this. that going back to this again? No. No, it's not going to this again. Need a coin for that, which I might get from this puzzle. And then the coin, I think I might get a second coin. Some coin probably goes in there as well. But what would I need to do to manipulate that though? What if I rotate this again? Maybe it lets me manipulate at that point. I don't really seem to have changed anything. On this, I mean. If I do this, does that unlock it per se? No, not really. We might be past where this winding key thing means anything for the puzzles going forward. I don't know. Can't really. At some point, we'll manipulate this top part, I think, but I don't think we're there. So it zooms in like you will be able to, but you can't do it yet, I don't think. Okay, what am I trying to do with this? Really not sure what the idea is here. What other things have I not yet tried? I can zoom in on this, but this just shows me like what's currently there. I cannot manipulate any of these. So these don't matter as far as do X and Y will happen. That doesn't happen with that. It just kind of shows you that things have rotated and so on. We already did this puzzle. These previously could not be manipulated. I'm assuming it's the same. Yeah, I can't do anything with those right now. What is... something with this? It's right next to it, so maybe. Doesn't really seem like it's doing anything though right now. Really, at different perspectives, I don't really get any extra. So what is this trying to tell me? If I cannot manipulate those, what does this refer to? Something I'm missing. Yeah, same notes that I did earlier do not do anything now. They did before, but they don't do anything new now. So... let me just double check. So if I have this currently on the top part, it's the upper left, and on this one, it's the bottom right, and over here on the right side, it's the upper left, and there is, as far as I can tell, nothing on the left side. Okay. So if I rotate this, I said rotate this. My bad. That has made no adjustment whatsoever to this. So I feel like that probably does not affect this ever. Yeah. So while I did use this in the process of getting to this point, this has no effect on this. Because I've also tried where this here is in this top position. Or sorry, this right position, I should say. Where you get the slider. Sliding that affects this. But this moving also has no effect on this. So I think as far, at least for now, maybe later, but probably for good, but at least for now, these two pieces here have no more to do with this. So this is something I'm supposed to manipulate without currently having the thing I'm supposed to use to manipulate it. So I gotta find some puzzle, something, some part of this box or table or whatever you want to call it that I've not yet manipulated. Oh, there we go. That rotated. Then what does this say? Double S, triangle with that, and then with a backslash? That's nothing on this, though, right? Yeah, it's nothing on this. So unrelated. So what does this do, though? So 1, 2, 3. So if I move these again, that might be this again. 1, 2, 3. Because these each have the dots on them. What happens if I rotate, not that one, rotate this one to the position for 2? Does that change this at all? No. Okay, so am I moving these? Is that... I can move them. Okay, what do I want to move them to? These don't match up on that cube as far as I could tell to anything. So what are the symbols I want to match? Ah, here. So 3 is this S, 2 is this, and 1 is that. Okay. So I want 3 is this S. Nope, let me zoom in. Then I can manipulate them. 3 is this S. 2 is this. And 1 is that. Hang on, let me double check. No. I have them in the wrong. 3 is this 1, not 3. Can I move 1? Apparently I cannot move piece 1 yet. Okay. 2 is there, 1 is there. There we go. I was like, why did that not work? That's because I dragged the wrong one. I dragged 3 instead of 1. A coin. Okay, that is what I want for, I think, the organ probably first. Yeah, because it has the space for the hole in the middle as well. Okay. We have it play it again. I guess I'm supposed to do a memory game here. Nice. Metal handle 1, metal handle 2. Oh, sad. I guess we're done with the keyboard. Okay, metal handle 1 and 2. Those probably go here. Yeah. I rotate. Whoops. Rotate. Oh, I see. I'm supposed to rotate these. I don't know what way I'm trying to rotate them, though, is the thing. Like, what am I trying to accomplish with these rotated? I don't know. What are these? Oh. Over here. I see. Okay, so I want the top left now. So I want... there. Or top right, not top left. My bad. Then I want bottom right. There we go. Oh, maybe not. Is it? There we go. Yeah, no, I want... let's see if I do... there. No. Oh, I want the opposite side, don't I? I think I want the bottom left, not the right. Which means I want... where's the bottom left? Is it... maybe it's the top right I want. Maybe that's why. Hang on. Rotate this back up. There. Like that? Is that the one? No. One of these. One of these is the one I want. I just don't know which one. It's okay. It's simple enough with this orientation now. I just keep going one at a time until I get the one I want. So it's the bottom left, I guess, right? But that's not... when I did that... I gave the one where it was like blocked or whatever, right? No? There we go. Yeah, I'm trying to get it oriented on the opposite side, so it needs to be on the back side. That was my problem. Not where of the 4 that I was seeing, it needs to be on the back side because it's a 3D object basically, so I'm rotating it on the other side. My brain wasn't processing that properly for some reason at first. Red gem and a metal plate. Okay. Ruh-roh. Another. Put this here. No. Yeah, see, I need to. Is it this side that I can zoom in on? I can't zoom in on this one? No. Zooms in the wrong thing. Yeah, so that's not. Okay. Let me see. There we go. Then this. Okay, so what am I with this? What orientation do I want? I cannot rotate the ring. Hmm. Interesting. I don't know I have what I need for that though right now. I think I need to figure out nothing from this side. Huh. Well, if I... So maybe I'm trying to make this shape over there with open spaces or something? No, I don't think that's right. So I don't think those will orient in that way I need them to, if I was going to try to do that. Not really sure. The two things that open up together were this and this, so it should be something with this. See, I think what I'm going to eventually have is the red gem on one of these kinds of pieces, but I don't have it right now. I obviously don't know for sure that that's what I'm going to have, though. I'm just kind of making an assumption, which may or may not be true. Oh, I pull the other gems out and put them on here, and I'll have more of a design, I think is what I want. So I am trying to do this, and then from this side, I can pull the blue gem out. I see. I see. Okay. That's easy enough. So to get each of these other gems, what I will want is move this out of the way. this here, you over. I grab this. Green gem. Okay, and then yellow gem from here, which needs to, like this, this, there. There we go. Grab that one. Okay, so now we got the gems. That's what we're supposed to do. And then we put the other gems in here. Now, oh, and then the orientation, though. Do I need to... Is this going to tell me the orientation? I don't even know. I don't know that it will. I think we'll have to just try, and we'll find out what goes and what does not go. Let's see what we get with this. Okay. And if we have this instead... that. I think what I want, even if it switches colors, is a straight kind of where the different strands connect to each other. So it's a particular orientation I need. I think. I cannot move the red, so the red does have to stay where it is. So it's just a certain number of combinations of these others. I think, in fact, what I'm trying to do is make this symbol. I need to figure out... Alright, hang on. Let me take these out for a second. Let's do this one at a time. I think I'm with the 3. I'm not... Okay, so this is basically giving me the arc here plus this. Okay. So if I add, let's just add blue for now. What happens when I go back. I think it's at a bad angle, so I don't think blue works there. Let's try a different spot. Yeah, that's a better angle. Let's see, does this gonna... So if that is like that... So this here, the blue crosses here. And... comes here. Coming across here is a bit iffy. Let me try this last spot and see if it improves all at all for blue, but I think blue might be there. Yeah, that got worse. Okay, so I think pretty sure blue needs to go in this bottom corner here. Because now that I add yellow there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yellow is the extension here of this. Whereas red is this one, yellow is here. And here, joining with blue to continue this around. And then this coming across with this yellow ring here, continuing with the blue. Yeah, so I think green goes in that last slot then. Whoops. There. Yeah, and then I just rotate it the right way. Yep, there we go. Uh-oh. I feel like I may have made a tactical error. Do I really want to continue to delve further with this? I do not know if I'm confident that's the right course of action, but I don't know that I have much of a choice. So, I want this ball to be able to get to the center. So what I need to do is manipulate these in such a way that I have a path that will take me there. I could go like this, but then I'm stopped there. I could do that part way though, I think. Maybe. Oh, I cannot go. Oh, okay, I see. This is not a track here, so I need to do this again so I can actually move. And then I want to proceed like that. Do not want that. That'll just take me back here, which probably, well, that might lead with a track like this. What happens if I do that? If I do that again. Yeah, I don't think I want that. Let's continue. I see. So I don't really have a choice if I'm going to use this track. But this is dividing here. So if I go back to this, if I just go back to here and wait for another... Nope. I do need to use this track. Nothing else connects. Okay. So then that does need to do that. I guess I take this. Yeah. Then go down like this, I think. And then like this. And whoops. Here, probably. Well, possibly. I don't know about probable it is, but... Yeah, and then this here. There we go. Uh-oh. Oh, and then I need to manipulate this into a symbol. Yeah, there we go. Oh, another one. Fun, we get to do it again. I do enjoy these kinds of puzzles, so I'm not being sarcastic when I say it. I do enjoy them. Okay, so this just follow it initially where it looks like it'll go, and we'll see if this is a mistake or not. What if we go down? Nope. So down is not correct. Go down here. In there. Let's see. If I do this. Where does this connect above? There. Oh, I see. No, I think that's right. And then if I... There we go. Yep. Another blue with a symbol. This time the symbol we want is... here. So I want to rotate this so that the symbol will match up. So I want that with this rotated like so. Okay. Uh-oh. Wait, we cracked the lens. We broke the lens. How are we supposed to navigate going forward? Half the stuff is in the lens. Complete game complete. You made it through. Unflustered, I hope, as there will surely be sterner tests to come. You've taken the first step on a longer journey. I see no benefit in hiding the truth of your predicament. There is no way back. Not for any of us. For now, you are as trapped as I. Press forward with heart, my friend. There are many more rooms ahead. So which puzzle is the most annoying or confusing for me? I'm gonna have to think about that. Let me think. More confusing or puzzling? I think. What was the one? There was one of the puzzles in chapter 3. So from last week that I did it took me a bit where I was like, what are they trying to get me to do here? There's one that I think I was fiddling around trying to figure it out for a good like 45 minutes or something before I finally understood what they were wanting from me. So I think so far that's been the one that's been the most challenging, like the most, oh gosh, can I do this kind of a puzzle? Yeah, so I think that would be the answer for what you asked, Sylvia. I don't think I've found any of them really frustrating. It's a matter for me when I'm doing puzzles generally, not always. Sometimes I'll get frustrated after a long enough time or something. It's usually more frustration with myself, like, why am I not seeing this? But with puzzles, right, to figure a puzzle out, it's more about, okay, I approached the puzzle with this thought in mind that is incorrect. So what similar, but it feels like you were kind of on the right track, especially in those cases. Then what similar ways can I approach it that are not the same, but have some of the elements from this that seemed good, I can bring over, but have a different approach, right? So, as a super simple example, that last puzzle where you're doing through the track, you don't know if you need to bring it back down to a lower track and have it rotate and then go up again or not. So you try one way, and if it goes, this is basically a dead end going here, then you back up to the next previous circle, and then try a different way. That's a really, really very overly simplified version of what I'm talking about, where you have a particular approach, does not work, you change it to something else, that also doesn't work, change it to something else, you keep adjusting as you go through puzzles. Obviously, the more difficult puzzles take a lot more adjustments than the ones that somebody might find less difficult. And for every person, it's different, right? Like some people just, well, first of all, there are like the savants, the really brilliant people who just immediately get puzzles and they immediately go, oh, I know exactly what I do with this. And that's maybe every single puzzle just about. But for people that like and can do puzzles, like if they don't get frustrated by them, but they're not super genius level savant type thing, then it's a matter of just reworking. Okay, my thinking was going about it this way, that was wrong. What is another way I can think about this, and how can I make adjustments to get that? So yeah, room 2 will be next. So next weekend, this coming weekend, I will be out of town. It's another trip up to my father's, moving more of my stuff. I only have 3 more of those. I have this coming weekend, I'm moving stuff in my sedan, is the car I've got. So I'm moving stuff in my sedan. Then 2 weekends from that, I'll be moving stuff in my sedan again. So I'll have next week, I'll be gone. The weekend after, I'll be doing stuff here, streaming like normal. The weekend after that, I'll be gone again. And then I just have to wait for final approvals from my day job for the move. There are already people who work in the same place, like same state where I'm going to be going. So it's not a problem in general terms, but I need to wait until it's officially approved before I actually am fully moved up there. So that may adjust the schedule a little bit. But so the plan is this coming weekend, I'm gone. The weekend after, I'm here. The weekend after that, I'm gone. And then there may be 2 or 3 or 4 weekends in between, depending on what the schedule works out to be. There'll be one final weekend where I'm gone. The final weekend, I'm gonna have a big moving truck, like with the big box car in the back. So furniture and all that kind of stuff is gonna go in that, and that'll get hauled. I'll be driving that. I'm renting it. I'll be driving that to my dad's place. So it'll be about a 14-hour trip. So probably over the course of 2 days, most likely. Possibly if I leave early in the morning, all in the same day. We'll see. But anyway, so I'll be taking that for a final trip. Once I've taken that and all the furniture and stuff, then I'll be up there fully. And then, but like I said, so I like gone next weekend, then I'm here streaming again, then I'm gone. After that, I don't know how many weekends in a row I'll be streaming before I actually take the final trip. So we'll just have to see how that works out. But yeah, only another 3 weekends in total where I'm moving my stuff, and then I should be totally done. I've got, I don't know how well you can see, but if you look here behind me, see that's like a bookcase that's mostly emptied out, for example. I have another bookcase that was, I guess it would have been over this way, that got completely emptied out, and the bookcase itself is gone now. I have another bookcase here that is about, I think, with this trip that I'm doing, it'll be about halfway emptied. Something like that. So the books that are in the bookcase are one of the major things that I'm taking on the trips, because I have a lot of damn books. So it's a lot of packing, but also if you put books in a box or a tote or something, you're gonna try to lift them. You only want to lift so much weight. You don't want them to weigh 700 pounds each box you're trying to move or something, right? So I only do like full enough that it's heavy, but not uncontrollably difficult to move, right? So anyway, so I'm taking several trips like that, and then after I have the boxes or totes or whatever that have the books packed in them, then I also take other boxes that don't have those things. They have maybe electronics, or maybe they have like clothes or whatever it might be, and I'm adding those as well. And then I make a trip up with a bunch of that stuff. So I'm clearing stuff out. Most, even still with the trips I've been making, the vast majority of stuff, well, vast majority, like I would say 60% or something like that of all of my stuff will go in that final trip in the box car. But the box car, I mean, the space you have for doing the actual move in that is like 10 times or something the space I have in my sedan when I do the smaller trips. So it's, I'll be able to move everything in that final trip. I didn't want to do too many trips, but I also didn't want to wait until the very, like, do all of the stuff in a single trip and just exhaust myself so it's impossible to even walk for like a week or something afterwards. So you get kind of the impression. Anyway, so next weekend I'll be gone. The weekend after that I will be streaming for sure, and then I'll give you more reminders as we go along on when I will be here or gone again. Since I have finished the room and I've finished True Fear, well, so since I finished the room, I could just go straight into the room too, but I guess what I'm saying is since I finished the room and Signalis and True Fear Forsaken Souls Part 3 all this weekend, I've got space opened up. Again, for the room, I'll probably just for the Sunday night thing, I'll probably keep doing that and do the room 2 next on 2 weeks from tonight. But for the normal streams I do, so not the bonus streams, because there's only going to be so much time where I do these bonus streams. It's not going to be a regular thing yet. It could become a regular thing, but for now, it's just bonus stuff until I've figured out if this is going to keep working for me. But anyway, the streams that I've traditionally done, the first, second, and third streams, 2 of those 3 are now open slots for other games. One of those, I believe, should become Eric's home. And then the other one will be another one of the horror games from Halloween. Because I think, I'm trying to remember, let me check and see how long it took me, but I'm guessing if the time it took me to do Little Nightmares and Little Nightmares 2, if for each of those the time is about the same, I know it's a different development studio, but if the time for each of those first 2 was about, well, I could just go how long to beat, I guess, too. Let me just see how long it says. Little Nightmares. That's probably the easier way. Little Nightmares 3, yeah, Little Nightmares 3 only takes like 6 hours. It's basically about as long as Little Nightmares 2 was in total length. So if I look that up, let me find that. Little Nightmares 2. We're waiting. It's on a hard drive that hasn't been used in a bit, so it has to boot up. Give me a second for it to be ready. All right, so right, okay, that's not. Okay, so if I do it this way instead. About 15 hours for me, it looks like, is what it took. So 15 hours, 2 hours each time. So that's basically a couple months to get through Little Nightmares 2. Or Little Nightmares 3. Probably something along those lines. So probably 2 months to get through that. So that could be if I'm basically starting August, I'm fully moved up there, let's just suppose. Then that'd be like August, September to do Little Nightmares 2. There'll be some in July too, but oh yeah, so actually, let's say like maybe mid-September, actually, I finish something like that. It'd sort of be like, July with being gone a couple of weekends, then all of August, and then maybe like 1 or 2 weekends in September for Little Nightmares 2. And then I also have Yeah, maybe, I don't know. How long did Concluse take me? See, the thing is, I'm trying to judge how much time it's going to require. Concluse was about 6 hours. So that shouldn't be too long. I have 4 games left, basically, from Halloween. Yeah, Blood West takes a while. Blood West will be something like 2 months as well. So Little Nightmares 2, Blood West 2, or Blood West, both will be about 2 months. Actually, Blood West, because it's me, it'll take longer. So Blood West probably be like 3 months. I don't want to fall too far behind with Halloween again. But I could always do what I've done in previous years, right? I could do some games for Halloween that are super short, so they get finished pretty fast, actually. That could be something I do as well. Anyway, the Light Keeper, I think, does not have much more. So I have the Light Keeper, does not take all that much longer, I don't think. Nobody has a time for nobody has submitted a time for how long Concluse takes. So I really don't know, but I'm guessing it's probably about the same as the first one. The first one was, yeah, like I said, like 5 hours for me. So maybe 2, possibly 3 streams. So I don't know how long I still have on the second game, but I'm guessing if it's roughly the same size as the first, approximately, then anyway, that gives you an idea. Anyway, so I think Concluse 2 and the Lightkeeper both are shorter games, whereas Blood West and Little Nightmares 2 both are longer games. So anyway, we'll see how that pans out, but I think I still want to 2 weekends from this, I think I'm going to start Eric's Home regardless. Because I also am doing the Whispered World in the middle stream. And if I finish that, then that's also a new slot that opens up for being able to do another one of the Halloween games as well. So anyway, all right. Well, thanks, Sylvia and Monmouth and anybody else who has joined me. I appreciate the support as always. I will talk to you guys I'll probably put something in Discord in the meantime, just say hello or whatever. But I'll be back streaming 2 weekends from here. So 12 days from now, basically. So I hope to see you guys then if you're able to make it, and I will talk to you soon. Till next time. Peace.